welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So good to see all of you here. Um, I'm really excited about tonight because I think we made a lot of ground up last week. I say a lot made a lot of ground up. What I'm really meaning to say is I think we really came to some clarity. You see the background, right? I think how many of you would agree that we came to a point of clarity last week? Yes, no,
I agree. We got some clarity.
some clarity. Oh man, I thought, man, here I am thinking I've really done a good job.
No, I mean, I say some because, people still have their own individual definitions of what these phases of relationships mean.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that because I got a slide to talk about that very thing, and I appreciate that perspective. Um, so let me just go. Oh, I gotta admit somebody. Um, so let me just say that welcome to resolution substitution. This is year three. Come January, the first Thursday in January, we'll be starting on year four. So we have really done well keeping it going, and that's to you all's credit. Those old heads like William and Farron used to be one of my regular old heads, but she's been working. I can relate to that. But anyway, so we've been going for we're coming up on our fourth year, beginning our fourth year. So thank you all for coming. We started out a discussion, y'all. For those of you who are new, we started out a discussion because one of our participants says, I need y'all to give me some help because I keep attracting the same kind of guy, and she was not happy with the guys that she was attracting. So so I put this up. Are you using the wrong bait? And as you can see there, the guy's got his line in the water, but the fish are going in the opposite direction. Well, that wasn't our participant's problem. She was getting bites, but it's the same like a shark or I don't know if it was a shark or not. But at any rate, it wasn't what she was looking for. So we started down this discussion, and um, we ended up with this discussion about the friend zone. And because I noticed that there seemed to be this, and I was confused to be honest with you because the ladies were saying it seems like all these guys just want to be in the friend. They just want to be friends. But what the women were really communicating is we want more out of our relationships. We want to take it to the next level. We want to get married, and we ain't got time for this friend crap. Hold on before I go any further. Y'all think about that for a minute because I see Anthony Sutter. Can you say hello, Mr. Sutter? Hello, Anthony. All right. Well, we'll keep going. Maybe he'll speak to us here shortly. I just and by the way, the reason I do that whenever we have new people, we had someone come on to our Zoom conference call and tried to hijack us and started doing some things to the presentation. And it was shortly after that. I mean, it wasn't a week after that that Zoom reported that they needed to do some things with their security because others have been having those kinds of issues. So every time somebody new gets on, I have to go and confirm that they are, authorized and have been invited. So,
How you doing, Brother Bradley? I got my microphone hooked up right
all
now,
right.
so it's good to see you.
Okay. And Anthony, where are you from? Remind me.
Well, you know me from Greenville Avenue.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 All right. Um, so anyway, good to have you. I'm gonna go do some talking, but y'all, I'm hoping I won't do much as much talking this week. But let me go through this real quick. Okay, so the friend zone. The ladies were saying, look, these guys just seem to want to be friends, but what they were really communicating, I think, and ladies, if you were one of them that was in that situation, then please, correct me. But it sounded to me like you all were saying I don't want to just be friends. I'm looking to move to the next level to get married, right? I mean, God, I love everything about married life. And y'all, when I went through my divorce, oh, I was dreading getting back into the single life because I loved everything about married life and I didn't want to be single. So God bless me. But at any rate, so we talked about the friend zone, and what we did was, let me just skip through these things. But before we go into what we're going to get into, wherever you are and whenever you get into a relationship, ladies or gentlemen, if someone is wanting to spend time with you, I want to use this slide here to say you need to discover as quickly as you can what is their motivation for wanting to spend time with you. Let me say that again. You need to do your research and try to ascertain as quickly as you can what is their motivation for wanting to spend time with you. Okay. Uh, if they think you're worthy, then obviously that's where you want to be. But if they think you're easy, y'all know what I mean when I say they think you're easy. Somebody talk to me right there. They think you're easy.
Not a challenge.
Not a challenge. Okay. Anybody else? That's not what I had in mind, but we'll go there for in just a minute, William. I'm gonna give you a chance to elaborate on that a little bit. Why would somebody?
Sexually available.
I'm sorry. Say that again, Farron.
Sexually available.
Okay. Interesting.
Personal opinion.
I'm sorry. I cut you off, or was somebody else speaking?
A yes person, just saying yes to everything and don't put up a fuss.
Okay.
Uh, Whatever they want, yes. You're gonna availability, just easy, no struggle. I want this. Oh, okay. Well, can you come over here? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's meet here. Yeah. Okay. Not having a mind of your own, just being a yes person, satisfying person, and not defying yourself or walking in your own purpose.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, William, you said what again as to why somebody would think you're easy? You said what?
I said not challenging, kind of the same thing that Felicia was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this could be like Felicia mentioned, just basically using you, right? But it could also be, well, it could be as it relates to using you. They think you're easy for sex. Let's just be real, right? There, I, I know some guys, and I know some girls too, but I know more guys that they want to hang. They want to hang with you, but they've got a motive, and their motive is, I just want to get with you. I just want to get the hookup. But Lord,
Man,
but
it's
Lord,
called
good to see
shame.
you. Good to see you, y'all. We got one of our deacons with us. Good to see you, my brother.
All right, how y'all doing?
All right. You were saying what, Felicia?
I think the new terminology for the younger generation is called they want to smash.
Okay, I'm
But
good with
it's
that.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're struggling, so I was just trying to help you out.
Yeah. Well, I would really wasn't struggling. I really
Terminology.
want I really want you all. I really want you all to define these terms, and because this is for y'all. I already got my baby. You know what I'm saying? So this is this is for y'all. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Okay. So these are some of the things that from a couple of weeks ago. We asked the females and the males why you put individuals in the friend zone. The female said, uh, looking at the inside rather than the outside, too goofy, too silly, etc. So they'll put a guy in the friend zone if he's too goofy, too silly, right? Um, uh, Another one said, I put you in the friend zone just because all I want from you is companionship. The other said, when his walk and talk don't align, whoo, ouch, ouch, ouch. When his walk and talk does not, hold on, y'all, I'm renaming somebody. Don't align. Is that important? Y'all don't have to answer that. I figure it's important. And then y'all, I want y'all to keep this one in mind because we're gonna kind of circle around this one tonight. Too forward, too soon, and y'all will see where I'm saying why I'm saying that here in a minute. And then the other is values don't align. Don't know how to treat someone. Don't know what a real relationship is. They are users. So that's why the female said they will put a guy in the friend zone if he's doing that kind of stuff. And then the male said, I don't see any potential of anything more than just friendship, no interest. They got this stank attitude, demeanor. Their demeanor is all wrong. The mind, excuse me, the mindsets don't connect, lacks the ability to communicate. Ouch. And then the person refuses to distance themselves from their ex. Oh, yeah, that's a good one right there. Right. So these were the reasons males and females put their potentials, their suitors, if you will, in the friend zone. All right. Anybody want to pull on that before we move as I take a drink of water? Hello? Nobody?
I mean, I think those are all pretty good reasons.
Okay. All right.
And then one I forgot to mention when you posed the question initially is that she's messy or she likes to gossip or she's always meddling in other people's business.
That is a good one.
Okay. She's messy and always meddling in other people's business.
Yeah,
Always.
so likes to gossip.
If she's in other folks' business, she'll tell our business too.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, ouch. Oh,
Wow.
Tell your business too deal.
okay. And then you said gossip. Somebody said gossip. And William, I like what you said. If she's in other folks, telling other folks' business, she'll tell our business. Ooh, ooh. That's good right there. Oh, I gotta write. Hold on, I'm gonna write that down because I gotta add that in. And when I do my singles workshops at y'all's church, y'all pretend like y'all ain't never seen this stuff.
If you don't give attribution, it's plagiarism, though.
No, because y'all ain't copyrighted this stuff. Y'all crazy as I am. That's all I gotta say.
Brother Bradley.
Yo, go ahead.
Yes, in all fairness, that actually goes both ways because I'm still perplexed and puzzled at the number of men, so-called men, for lack of a better word, I meet on a regular basis that like to talk about what other men are doing.
Well,
That's fair.
no, excuse me, y'all. That is fair, and I gotta tell you, I can't help but agree with you. And let me tell you my take on that, and then we're gonna move on. Y'all, there are some guys at work, and these guys are, I mean, they're old guys. And when I say old, I don't mean necessarily my age, because I'm 63, so I'm not necessarily saying they're my age. But what I am saying, they're too old to be acting sophomorish. You know, they're trying to chase and chase as many skirts as they can chase. They're trying to conquer as many women as they can conquer. Y'all know what I'm saying by that, right? Trying to sleep with everybody that every female that's walking around there. And then they want to talk about it. And then I heard one guy say today, man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. Boy, you got your sights too low. Lord have mercy. Anyway, yeah. So I appreciate that perspective, Jamal. So this is why we put folks in the friend zone. Remember this too forward too soon, y'all, right here. Y'all remember that one because we're coming back to that. All right. Now, so here's what we discovered from our discussion last week. Okay, there's one view of as it relates to the different relationship phases. There's one view that says friends is just that. Thank you, love. That beautiful wife of mine brought me a cough drop. She heard me struggling. Friends is just that. That's all we are is friends. Dating, on the other hand, is it's the getting to know you phase. But in that phase, according to this view, each one in the relationship is allowed to date multiple people. Okay. And then the next phase is the courtship phase, where this is exclusivity, right? And the goal is marriage. Speaking of exclusivity, I love what one of our other participants said. The other participant said, I need to clarify what exclusivity means. She says, it's going toward a common goal of building a foundation for a solid relationship. She says, it's not like we are going to be exclusive for the next 6 months. It's building on something, and we are trying to see if we can make this work on a forever basis. Sometimes people become exclusive, and it's more of their idea is more of a try before you buy thing, and not necessarily them wanting a long-term relationship. That's powerful right there. Who said that? Are you on the call? Was that Arvelia? Was that you or Cretia?
No, but it's real good. I'll take the credit.
Arvelia. I don't remember who it was last week. Kim says, hey, Arvelia.
Hi, pretty lady.
She's over here. She's not trying to be on camera tonight for some reason. I don't know. Here she come. Here she come. That's my beautiful baby. Come on in a little further, baby. y'all. Yeah, my. Hey y'all. I mean, hey y'all.
Hey, William.
That's my nephew, William, and my nephew. Anyway, not really, but okay. So here's the other view. Here's the other view. And that is, friends is just that, hanging out together. So in that regard, they agree. The two views agree. But in this view, dating is exclusive. That is, we are boyfriend and girlfriend, and the goal is marriage. Now, you're looking at those, and I don't know. That was really, I thought it was really productive for us to define and clarify the different ideas about dating, especially. Whenever we do a singles workshop, one of the first things we get the singles to do, or try to get them to do, is to define dating. I told you all that it's been our experience that our society today says dating is hooking up. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say hooking up, right? So, any rate, but here's what we came away with. It is not important that our definitions of dating be the same. You say, well, that don't make sense. It's not important for our definitions of dating to be the same. What is important is that both parties in the relationship understand and agree on what the terms mean and where they are in the relationship. Okay? If one believes that dating means exclusivity and the other believes that dating means that we are free to see other people, there will be a problem. Communication up front is the key to a healthy relationship. Does that make sense, y'all?
Amen. That's right.
A lot of sense.
Okay, so
Hey, JB.
yes, sir. Go ahead.
You and I are old school, and Sister Merlene too, cousin. What's the difference between court? What is their definition of courting now? You said courting. What do they call it?
Well, so the individual that had this view, and there were several who agreed with that first view, the one in yellow or gold or whatever that is she called it courtship phase, and that is where they were exclusive and the goal was marriage.
Okay. Gotcha.
Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Okay, let me also say, while you all are getting your thoughts together, that there were several people on the call last week in both groups. Hello, let me say that again. There were several people on the call last week who were in both groups. Again, it doesn't matter which definitions you choose. What is important is that the both of you understand and agree on what these things mean. Anybody ever been in a relationship where watch out now, brother Lowell. Anybody ever been in a relationship where You thought y'all were exclusive and you thought y'all had that understanding, but the other one clearly thought that what was agreed upon was that y'all could see other people. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
y'all didn't hear Kim. Did y'all hear Kim? She said, yeah, that's why we're not together anymore. And I'm thankful that that happened. That's all I'm saying. But anybody else want to share?
I was in a relationship like that where I thought that the person I was seeing, I thought we were exclusive, that I was the one for her, she was the one for me, and it was never like that. And 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 when I wasn't, like, she lived in New York, I lived in Jersey. So when I wasn't out to see her in New York, she was out there seeing other guys, spending nights with them. And I felt that it was, that was uncalled for, to go that route. Like, just be honest with me, and after that, I just got tired of it. I was like, you know what? I was like, this is not for me. And I just moved on.
Well, and Marcel, go ahead and mute for us. Thank you, sir. And Marcel, it's interesting you say that. I can't tell you how many people would be in that situation and would want to try to force it. Y'all heard the old saying, if it don't fit, don't force it. And that became real popular with OJ and the glove, right? If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Anyway, if it don't fit, don't force it, y'all. Miss Maddie Ager, you got your hand up. Go ahead. Hello? Did you want to say something, or are you just saying you were in that situation before? Well, maybe she was just saying I was in that situation before. Anybody else want to comment before we move? Okay.
James,
Yeah. Go ahead, Archie.
why don't we be honest with ourselves at times when it comes to that?
Meaning what, sir?
Do you believe that a person can be attracted to more than one person?
Oh, without a doubt, you can be attracted to more than one person. Archie.
Okay, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and my beautiful wife is sitting right here with me. When I'm going down the street or walking around the office or whatever, I see women, I see other women, and some of them are attractive. Did y'all hear me say some of them? I'm sorry. Some of the Arvelia, don't shake your head in disdain like that. Some of them are attractive. Okay. So Archie, yes. I mean, I can be attracted. You know what I'm saying? I can see others. So but are you suggesting, Archie, that just because I find somebody else attractive that I have the right to move in their direction?
No, I'm not saying that. I think we have to look at from attraction of infatuation, which is something that is short-lived for a short period of time, that we have to also look at. That I think that sometimes maybe we may be confused on that at some time, which assumption of moving in that direction with saying, oh, okay, this one is for me. It goes like what the brother just said, assuming and thinking something that's going to be, that you thinking you're in something that's going one direction, but it's going a different direction for that other person. So I think also we have to look at the part of the state of an infatuation from the attraction or the idea of the hope that may go somewhere.
Well, the only problem I see with your argument, Archie, the only problem I see with that argument is it sounds to me, and Jamal is, it sounds to me that you missed the part, or somewhere somebody missed the point about communication, about where we are and what these terms mean, and what I mean when I say we're dating and what you mean when you say we're dating. That's what it sounds like you're suggesting, Archie.
No, I ain't suggesting. I'll just put a thought out there.
Okay. Okay, Miss Maddie, did you want to say something?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, come on with it.
I've been in the medical field for 58 years, and I was a supervisor at the nursing home in Detroit. Second floor, I had residents at HIV and AIDS due to the fact that they messing around with different peoples, more than one woman, more than one man. So I'm just letting you guys know that it's physical and become emotional. Of course, first it is spiritual because you need to be married. But sometimes people don't want to see that, but it's so true.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. And I'm gonna tell you what, you make a very good point that in this day and time, pardon me, we really better check ourselves if we want to date and see other people, because if they are of the mindset that they can see other people, they probably are. But the question is, who are these other people that they are seeing? Have they been to Miss Maddie's facility? All I'm saying.
No doubt. I'm quite
That-
sure.
right? so again, y'all, I thought this was very important. I thought it was very productive last week that we get these two perspectives on dating and that kind of thing. So all right, before we go any further, I see we have, is that Ann? Ann, can you say hello to us?
Hey.
Hey Ann, where are you from?
Oh, it's Antoinette. It's just the
Antoinette.
computer just for some
Oh,
reason had Ann on there.
okay, good, Antoinette. I thought I recognized you. I'm like, I don't know if that's her or not.
Yeah.
You know, y'all do these glamour shots instead of coming on with the video. I know COVID is still going on and y'all hadn't been able to get your hair did and all that stuff, but come on, ladies. We love you nonetheless. Rosalind, Arvelia was on video and then she went off on us. But any rate, okay, so let's move on, y'all. But let me go back to this exclusivity comment that was made. Don't get fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Just because someone says that they want to go exclusive, they may only be thinking temporary exclusivity. But I like this definition that, hey, I'm talking long term. We're trying to see if this thing is going to work. So keep that in mind as we go. So this week's, here's the email that went out. Have you ever been in a relationship where you thought that you and that special someone were on the same page, only to find out that you all weren't even reading the same book? Finally, dating has been defined and clarified so that you don't ever have to worry about that happening again if you join us tomorrow evening, that is right now. Okay, so that's where we are. So I've entitled this segment, Dating, Defined or Clarified, Clarity. Okay, so again, the terms that we're using is, are we dating, are we friends, are we exclusive, right? And then I got to thinking about it. I was talking to that beautiful wife of mine who's sitting right here. And as we were talking, it became really clear that I know we want to go to the next level. And I've given you all a lot of terms that I use to say, okay, now that I've seen what I see, I want to take it to the next level. And then so I define this term as the next level dilemma. Here you are, you're in a relationship. You've seen things that you like. You've heard things that you like. It is clear you are ready to move to the next level. But here's the question. Now that I have seen what I need to see, how do I let you know that I'm ready to move to the next level? No, we're not having audio difficulty. I just wanted to get quiet so that you all could process what I just said. Because remember one of those problems that one of the ladies says, I'll put you in the friend zone is if you moving too fast, right? Okay, so there's a dilemma. The next level dilemma, I call it. How do I let you know that I'm ready to move to the next level? You do know that there is a risk involved. Because what if you tell her, William, that, or no, let me pick on Anthony. Anthony, you tell, let me hook you up with somebody on the call tonight. You tell Trevina, I'm only doing that because the two of your pictures are on the right next to each other on my screen. So Anthony, you tell Trevina that you have seen everything you need to see and you are ready to, you don't tell her that, but you are now ready to move to the next level. So Anthony, tell me how you would approach Trevina. Y'all been talking for a while. How would you approach her? And remember, Trevina might have been the one who said they're trying to move too fast. Trevina, can you unmute for a second? Was that you that said that?
Yes, that was.
Look at here, boy. You see how God works? I thought so. I got a memory like an elephant sometimes on stuff I don't need to remember. But at any rate, Trevina. Okay, so Anthony, you and Trevina have been talking, and Trevina has already gone on record to say, I'll put you in the friend zone if you try to move too fast, too quick or whatever. So Anthony, how do you communicate to her that you're ready to take it to the next level? And Trevina, by the way, how do you, if you're not hearing from Anthony, you're not getting the signals, what are the signals, I guess? I don't know, y'all. Help me out here. Anybody can answer, not just Anthony and Trevina.
Wouldn't that be about a conversation?
I'm sorry, Rosalind, say that again.
Wouldn't that be more of a conversation and not a notification?
Wouldn't that be more of a conversation?
That notification, the notification, if you like tell somebody that you're ready to move to the next level, that could be some pressure there. But if you're having a conversation and you feel each other out, and that person says that, hey, I'm really feeling you, and how would you feel about us trying to move to that next level? I mean, that's a lot more humbling, accommodating, or whatever it is that you want to call it.
Right. I get it. I'm just saying somebody on this call might be struggling and they might be experiencing this next level dilemma. And so, obviously there's a risk involved, and some might say it goes from easy to difficult. I don't know, but it is.
But for a woman, if you're not willing to take that risk and expose yourself, then why would I mean, like, for me, if you can't tell me what you want, then what I assume is, okay, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be fighting with emotions. So that's a no-go. That let's just put him in a friend zone because he's not in touch with his emotions. I don't want to fight that for the rest of my life.
Well, and Rosalind,
to be able to talk to me.
Right. And Rosalind, you must have been on some calls. You weren't, but you must have been on some calls that we had some time back, because I've communicated, look, ladies, if a guy is scared, and you got to make all the moves, you got to make all the decisions, you will have to do that the rest of your life if y'all get married. That's right. He ain't the one unless you're one of those control freaks. You like that kind of control. Now, come on, ladies, let's face it. Some of y'all like that. Y'all want that. Hello.
Squeak, squeak.
Well, hopefully, throughout the course of the communication, at some point, preferably early on, the next level would have come up in conversation. And so by the time one of you gets to that point, or by the time the man gets to that point, ideally he would have gotten some kind of signal from the lady that she might be interested in that. And so I think a good way for him to approach that and have that conversation is to just like Rosin said, to have a conversation and say, look, this is where I am. If you're okay with that, or if you're ready for that, then I would like to move it to the next level. If not, then we'll see what happens at that point. But you take the pressure off, not apply pressure, but say, when you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay.
For lack of, just to, get straight to the point.
Okay.
What happened?
When you're ready, I'm ready.
He would have to, I think it goes both ways, to where our actions will show that you will even feel comfortable even approaching me about moving to that next level, because my actions are showing that I'm ready to move to the next level, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about
Archie.
Even though your actions show it, there still needs to be a conversation, because some people they misinterpret actions.
Right.
Well, that's where I was going. Right. Hold on. Archie, what were you saying?
I mean, how can we go to the next? And this is just a thought. How can someone go to the next level just based upon what you feel for the person, but you don't have an intimate conversation to know that person's mindset of how you can engage and grow with them based upon life issues? I think we move fast without having a conversation about life issues, about what does it look like coming together, the necessity and essential things. I think we move and we constantly go through the same motions because we move in our feelings, but when bringing our life together is, what does the finances look like? What does it look like when it comes to making wise decisions together? They try to find that out after they decide to get committed.
Well, okay, but Archie, I hear what you're saying, but some of those things are things that you just observe in the getting to know you phase, right? You should already have a clue. You should already have a clue about, their finances or their whatever. William, you say what?
Yeah, I'm about to say, for me, that's part of the deciding that I want to take it to the next level step.
Right.
Is having those type of conversations.
Right. I've seen some stuff, and like I said, but Trevina used the thought. She said signal. What are the signals? What do they look like? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if Archie, he brought up the financial piece, you can watch and sit back and observe, how does he handle his money? Or how do I handle my money? You don't have to know exactly what I make, but you can see how I spend my money and how I move with that.
Right. And in fact, Trevina, we do a workshop, this beautiful woman and I, we do a workshop called Am I Marriage Material? And I really want to launch it one Thursday night just to show you what it is. I think Farron, I think she was a part of that we did over at Greenville Avenue. And one of the things that you need to find out is, like, what's your credit score?
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Hey, if it's low, I can help with that. Just throwing that shameless plug there.
That is a shameless plug, William. But
yeah, just because somebody's spending a lot of money on you, you think you know his finances. That doesn't mean anything, because he got a roll in his pocket.
Well, not only that,
may not be paying his bills.
Well, exactly. I mean, hey, you can get credit card. They want you to get a credit card. You know what I'm saying? And you can be spending a lot of money on Trevina. Anthony. Anthony say, why are you trying to hook me up? No, I'm just saying y'all pictures are still together. But you can be spending a lot, Trevina, he can be spending a lot of money on you, but he ain't really got no money. And then when y'all finally get together and marry, now guess what? Now some of your money got to go to pay his bills. I'm just saying. So the getting to know you phase, and that was another point I wanted to make last week, by the way. The getting to know you phase, y'all, is really in every phase of the relationship. The getting to know you phase is in every phase of the relationship. That ought to be a constant thing.
It is. That's right.
Okay,
Been
so
married 46 years. We still learning stuff about each other.
Lord have mercy. Been married 46 years and they still getting to know each other. And by the way, that keeps the excitement in the relationship.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, so Trevina used the term signal. I want to circle there for a minute. What would be a signal, Trevina? I mean, I've seen women flick their hair, to show you that they're interested or whatever. What are the signals? The
Did
guys
I
want
say
to know.
signal or actions?
Are you talking about signals for interest or signals for going to the next level? Because those are different.
I know. I was talking about the flicking the hair. That's a signal of interest.
Oh,
I
I
get it.
don't think I said actions, watching their actions and how they are with you. Like, it's like, number one, consistency. Are they consistent? Are they ghosting me after after one date? I'm not hearing from them again. That's an action to me that shows me I need to just not even pursue this, because, or have him pursue me because he ghosted me. That's a red
Right.
flag.
Right. But Trevina, I'm talking now. You and Anthony have been talking a while. You're interested. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be talking to him. You like his glasses. See, I mean, look at that handsome devil. He got his Bitmoji up. But at any rate, my point is, y'all. So we are beyond that point. Y'all are spending a lot of time together. So what are the signals that you're going to give Anthony? And I don't know, Trevina, I might have to hook you up with somebody else because Anthony ain't saying much. I mean, he ain't even raised his hand, so he's kind of quiet. Anthony, I'm messing with you, bro.
I'm still here. I'm just listening.
Okay, well, we want you to engage. She doesn't want you to just be listening. We just talked about this idea of it's important to communicate. I'm putting you on the spot, Anthony.
Okay.
Please don't jump off the call just because I'm doing this.
No, I'm fine.
But I'm making the point, which was already stated. That is, communication is key in our relationships, right? Okay, so I'm just using the two of you as guinea pigs, but y'all have been talking. Y'all know y'all love to spend time with each other. Okay, now it's time to start moving to the next level, or at least you think it is. What signals do you give her? What signals do you need from her before you know, okay, now I can start having this conversation? Anybody, ladies, gentlemen?
Okay, you asked me and then you threw it out to anybody. So I'm just gonna start talking.
Thank you.
In the first you mentioned that I approached her and she put me in the friend zone.
Okay, we're past that now. Y'all are
Okay,
not
we
friend
passed that.
zones.
All right.
Okay.
So now we've been seeing each other. We've been talking to each other. One of the ways that I'm going to signal that I'm interested in her as a potential wife, I'm gonna go ahead and put it like that, to make sure I state it properly. The way I'm gonna let her know that I'm interested in her as a potential wife is I'm gonna start talking to her about my goals, dreams, future, and I'm gonna start talking to her about us doing this together, us doing that together, us going here together. So I'm gonna send those signals out. And I'm gonna do that pretty early on, is talking about us instead of you and me. So my conversation is going to be pretty different right off the bat to kind of signal to her that I'm looking at her as a potential wife.
That dude is smooth, y'all. Woo, Lord have mercy. But Trevina, are you ready to say I do? I mean, come on after that.
But I'll be reading poetry, man. You know what I'm saying? I try.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm crazy. Trevina, speak to me.
I guess mine would be the same. Just, making future plans and not using I and we, us, so he can know that he's in my future. I'm thinking about you in my future, so he can feel comfortable approaching me or about that.
Boy, she smooth as him, boy. Good night, nurse. Yeah, I like that. I really like that idea. I'm sorry.
But is that still saying I agree with both points and thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's an agreement based upon words. Uh, and the analogy that they just use is dead on. But still, where is the verbal commitment to one another? That's what we're missing. You can show, you can give the hints, you can talk about the goal, but there has to be an agreement between both parties. Without that, you always gonna be left with assumption based upon the we and us. The commitment begins when there is a verbal commitment and agreement between the male and the female. Without that, we'll always leave doubt. Verbal commitment, the question that you ask is, when is the time? The time is when you take it to the next level, is when you both agree to a verbal commitment to be committed to one another in spite of a dialect that you don't have.
Well,
Bradley, but you did ask about the signals. So those are the signals, or let's just put it like this. Those are the precursors. Okay. The signals that you're sending out. And if you I understand, I think I understand where you're going, Archie. Am I gonna just say it right out? Yeah, I'm gonna just say it right out. But I'm gonna start sending the signals out early, and then I'm gonna say it right out. I'm looking at you as a potential wife, and I want you to consider me as a potential husband. I ain't scared to say it if that's what you're getting at.
Okay, but
I'm not saying that.
But Archie, you use the word commitment, and I got to tell you, commitment is already built into the fact that we are talking exclusively. There is a level of commitment in that regard. So I shouldn't have to look for commitment. If we have agreed that we are exclusive, then we've already made a commitment to one another.
But
that's my point. That's my point. That's when you go to the next level. We're trying to grasp at straws about all the indications when what you just stated is the sign of both parties going to the next level.
No, we're not grasping at straws. No, I said, how do you know when you're going to move to the next level? And that is, you have to have some signals or whatever to know that, okay, at least I think we're ready to move to the next level. Hold on a second, somebody is chatting. Okay, go ahead. That was a private chat. I can't share those with y'all.
Brother Bradley, I think what he was saying, and which I agree with, after you giving out the signals and you getting the signals, is that you verbalize it, you say it. So it's very clear that you want to move to the next level. So there's no ambiguity or whatever. You actually say it.
I agree. With that. Yes, Anthony, I agree with that. But that's not where we were.
Okay.
That's not where we were. We were at, okay, how do I, now that I've seen what I need to see, how do I let you know that I'm ready to move to the next level? That's where we were. All right. I get it. I agree. Once you start seeing these signals and both of you and Trevina both said the same thing. And I love that idea. Your conversation changes from I and you and me to we and us. Okay, now I'm seeing that you see me in your future and vice versa. So now at that point, okay, now we have that conversation. I was just trying to make sure that we understand there's a step in between. There's a step in between because once you get the signals, before you can say, I'm ready to move to the next level, you need to get some signals
I got
in order to be comfortable. Otherwise, you go back here. There's a risk. But once you've gotten your signals, then bam, okay, now we can move. That's all I'm saying. I agree that you have to, I agree with both you and Archie. At some point, you got to man up or woman up and say it. But I was trying to move us through the different levels at, you know, because we run the risk, according to Trevina, we run the risk of moving too fast, too quickly, and she ain't gave no signal. I know that's bad English. She has not given you any signals.
So
okay, Rosalind, go ahead.
Okay, when in reference to where you're talking about the signals, we've only talked about verbal signals, but what about the making your walk match your talk? I know Trevina said, you know, if he ghosted her, well, they're past that point. They're giving out signals. You know, he's saying we, but he may be still performing as I. So those two things have to match.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, not just what he's saying, but what he's doing.
Or Rosalind, not just what she's saying, but what she's doing.
Yeah, the same thing. Are you considering me when you make your decisions now?
Right.
Now that you know, you're saying that you're talking we, but you're still performing like I, that doesn't match. But
right.
If you're considering me while we're going through this process, that confirms your level of commitment.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just words. It is not just words. But again, you're spending time, you're seeing things that you like, you're seeing things that you don't like. So yeah. Go ahead, y'all. I'm reading the chat.
I'm with Trevina too on that part about the time thing. You know, if somebody is truly interested in you, they're not just going to throw money at you. You're going to have their time. You're going to have their attention. So those are also nonverbal cues that you can use as signals.
Okay, so yeah. I got an interesting question, and I'm not going to say who said it, but and it's because it's a private chat. The term timeline was included in that chat, and y'all tell me what your thoughts are on this whole idea of timeline. I got my thoughts, but I don't want to run the show. Timeline. How do y'all respond to that?
Based upon the timeline of moving to the next level, or what's the context of the timeline?
Well, yeah, probably that. Probably that.
Well, I think it's based upon each individual, first of all, who they are within themselves, and second of all, the compatibility of their connection that they have, whether it be emotional, mentally. So I think the timeline is based upon both individuals, based upon the energy that they feel, based upon where they're at with their walk with God, and based upon where they're each individuals in their walk with life. Because everybody to say they're ready ain't ready. This could be ideal. So I think the timeline is based upon those individuals, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, or they can just walk right into it because they know who they are within their singleness to know what they want when they walk into it.
Okay. All right, somebody else. Ladies, talk to me about this timeline, somebody. Other than Rosalind. I only say that because Rosalind's been doing a lot of talking. We got some folks, they said nothing. I'm sorry, have not said anything.
Well, I'm not a lady, but I'll jump in and say that I agree with Archie. You know, I think the timeline just is up for that couple to define. One other couple's timeline might not work for a different couple. So just up to to the two individuals in that relationship to have that conversation and determine what that means for them. And
Right.
when they're both ready, then they can move on to that next level.
Right.
But it's up to them to decide for themselves.
Okay. Ladies, come on, ladies.
Throw this out real quick.
Golly, these ladies ain't gonna have a chance. Go ahead, Anthony.
Throw it out. I know a man and a lady in Chicago that been married like over 40 years, and they got married like within 6 months. But he looked like Smokey Robinson and she looked like Michelle Obama. So I don't know, you know.
What does that have to do with it, Anthony?
They just way good looking, but they compatible though. They really compatible though.
Okay. All right. Don't let me start calling names, ladies.
I agree with Will that the couple has to be on the same page, because if we're dating and I expect us to be exclusive after 3-4 months, and you're
Where'd you go, Trevina? Lost you. Hello? Somebody take over since Trevina's lost audio.
but if you're showing me all the actions, your characteristics are online with your walk, with your talk, and your potential mate, then after 3-4 months, I feel like we should be exclusive. That's just me.
Okay, right. Okay. Now, being exclusive is different from is being exclusive different from taking it to the next level of, because can you not be exclusive but not yet be at that level where you're ready to go to the marriage thing?
So jumping from dating to marriage?
Well, depends on your definition of dating, but I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question. So is the exclusivity, the fact that we are exclusive, we have both agreed that we are exclusive now, does that mean that we have decided we are going to be married? We are moving in that direction? Or I don't know, I'm just asking.
For me,
Yeah,
yes.
For me, it would, yeah.
Kim says it depends on how the man acts. Because, and why would you say that? Why do you say that, by the way?
Because if I'm with you for any length of time, and I've devoted my time and put all this energy into the relationship, if we're getting to that point, if you're acting right, then yes, the timeline is, if you're acting right, then we can be married when you're ready.
Did y'all hear? And I think that's right in line with what I believe it might have been Rosalind. Rosalind, was it you last week that gave us that dissertation about exclusivity? It did make sense. No, absolutely. And that's what I was about to say. I'm trying to find right here. Rosalind, was this your comment, going toward a common goal of building a foundation for a solid relationship? Was that you, Rosalind? Hello? Now she don't want to talk. Okay, anybody marry Rosalind, now you know how to get her to shut up.
No, there was something wrong with my speaker. What was your question?
Okay,
yes, that was me.
That was you. I thought so. Okay, now, so what Kim just said, I think is critical, because you can be exclusive, but you got to make sure, and I'm talking male and female, even though you're exclusive, you've got to make sure that this is not this idea that she talked about, where we're just trying to try it before you buy it. No, the exclusivity that is important to me is, look, we've observed each other enough to know that, hey, I think we want to spend the rest of our lives together, as opposed to this, you just saying you want to be exclusive. Because what Kim is saying is, we can be exclusive, but if you're not acting right, I'm sorry, there won't be a next level. In fact, we won't be exclusive, not with each other. That's just James Bradley's thought. Arvelia looked like she agreed with that, right? Okay, so the idea of just because you're exclusive doesn't necessarily mean that it's determined we're gonna get married. Kim says she just thinks the man sets a lot of the tone as it relates to this. Is it time to get married?
I agree.
She says, because we the women, she says, we gonna do what we gotta do. Okay, so Marcel says, it depends on many factors. If a man or woman has been hurt, watch this now, a rebuilding needs to take place so that person has been hurt would would be a support system of trusting someone again. The timeline might be longer because patience has to be built up for both individuals. Okay, now Marcel, what you're talking about is exactly the reason I told you all that one of the words that was important for me to see in Kim was availability. And that doesn't mean that she's single. Availability is uh, a complicated term, because one can be single but not necessarily available. Again, because if she is still hung up on her ex, how can I get the time and the attention and the focus and the emotions? I can't get that from her because it's over on the other side of town.
But you need to start rebuilding before we get into the relationship, and then I can meet you where you are when we meet.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear her?
No.
She says if someone's been hurt, right? Um, Basically what she said, she just summed it up. Work on yourself first. See, that's what we said. That's what we said before, y'all. To know if you should be pursuing a husband or a wife, you need to be whole within yourself. Don't go out there looking for Kim to heal all your wounds from your past relationship. I'm sorry, that's not her job. She didn't cause the pain, right? She didn't accept the behavior that caused the pain, right? So it's not her job. She's not a physician, y'all. And y'all, ooh, y'all got to hear this. Y'all got to hear this. Y'all got to hear this. Before you get into a relationship, if you've been hurt, you go see a counselor. You go see a therapist before you try to get into another relationship. Unfortunately, a lot of people try to get into a relationship so that they can feel better. I'm sorry. That's the wrong idea. That's the wrong approach. You are asking for trouble. And, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where I got to heal somebody. I do that as a counselor, y'all. Lord have mercy. I don't want to do that in my relationship. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me see, because uh, y'all are chatting. I wish y'all would not chat, honestly. That's why we went to Zoom, so y'all could talk. Because when you chat, I get behind, and I see a statement back at 7:53 says good point. Well, I don't know what point was good at this point. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Uh, there it is, Brother Bradley. Availability. Good point. Okay. I again enjoyed the conversation, but I have to leave. Okay, that was Brother Lowell. True points y'all are making. Amen. Happy and whole by yourself first. have to do the inner work first. Yes, absolutely. And then Anthony agreed with that. Yes, heal first, date later. Absolutely. Jamal says, facts. Been there and have done that. Then they'll say, well, he's not being patient and understanding. Rosa says, I always ask if the person is mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially unattached to any person or object. Yes, all good points, y'all. And it's after 8. Let's continue this discussion.
JB,
I'm sorry.
James, can I put something out there real quick? Just 4 of the points. Just 4. That's all I'm gonna use. 4.
Woo, Lord have mercy. Okay, go ahead.
Just 4.
Go.
What I look for is there are 4 components. And all those 4 components work together. For me, this is what I have to, there has to be the physical intimacy, and I'm not talking about sexually. Physically, mental intimacy, affection, and emotion are one of the 4 key components, other than communication, that we need to look at and implement when you're dealing with connection with that person and making sure it's not the idea of what ones want.
Okay, give me your
There's
4. Give me your 4 again. Give me your 4 again.
There's physical intimacy. I'm not talking about the sexual part, and I'll expound on that later. I got a lesson on those 4. Physical intimacy, mental intimacy, affection, and emotions. Without those 4 components, we have to examine within ourselves. Without that 4 components of that connection, the ideal can be an ideology within us for us to believe that this person is one. We can end up getting together with someone without having any type of those connections that is important to a relationship that leads to marriage. I'm just saying, that's the 4 points.
I don't disagree. I agree. Okay. But all of those things are found where and when. Okay, we'll talk about it again next week. I agree with you, Archie. I'm not disagreeing with you. You look like I'm saying I don't agree.
No, I ain't saying that.
Okay, I do agree. I do agree.
I know you do.
Okay, so y'all, it's 8:00 something, 8:08. Lord have mercy. We're gonna end this call. And I thank you all for joining. Anthony and Trevina, thank you all for letting me be the use y'all as guinea pigs. Next week, y'all might want to come in a little distant so y'all won't be together. So I won't pick on y'all again. And by the way, I don't do matchmaking. No, y'all not gonna blame me when things blow up. Anyway,
are we really gonna meet Brother Bradley?
Oh yeah, next Thursday. Is it what is
Christmas
that?
Eve?
That's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thank you, Sister Merlene. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break next Thursday. No, we won't be meeting next Thursday. So when do we get back together again? Somebody. Oh, well,
Probably
Kim
in
just asked-
January.
Well, hold on. Kim just asked a question. Do y'all want to meet? Is that a raised hand?
I'm game.
I do.
I
will.
Okay, well,
it's
I will.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I'll go ahead and schedule it for next Thursday. I'm good with that.
Thank you.
Cause
Ain't like we got much to do anyway.
I don't have any money to go shopping, so yeah.
Y'all owe me.
Kim say y'all owe her.
Do.
Send me your address. I'll send you something.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, but
I'm serious though.
Amelia, I'll send you the address.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, y'all have been a blessing. This y'all make us feel like we are serving a purpose. We're trying to give you guys a chance to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about so that we can help you all to make a better decision. We started our work together having gone through divorce. We decided that we wanted to help as many people as we could to avoid divorce. And you say, well, what does that have to do with us? If you do a better job picking up front, you won't have to worry about divorce in the end. That's why we do what we do. with that, God bless y'all. God to keep y'all. We'll see y'all next Thursday, Christmas Eve. And I will post my address up. Y'all can send any gifts y'all would like. God bless you. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Uh,
Good night.
Bye.